A Chinese-American academic has been sentenced to 8 years in jail for buying and selling human skulls. 44-year-old Ding Wen was also fined $44,000 by a Beijing court. His lawyer said Ding began buying human skulls in 2004 at Panjiayuan flea market. He then contracted craftsmen to carve pictures on the skulls and sold them overseas. Ding bought 1,300 human skulls from 2 farmers in Qinghai province over an 18-month period at a price of $12 to $23 each and sold more than 200 overseas for a hefty profit. In June last year, the FBI discovered the skulls sent in parcels to the U.S. and contacted authorities in Beijing. Ding has appealed his conviction, saying he collected the skulls for himself or as gifts for friends. A huge crowd of around 65,000 people recently attended a police open day held by Guangzhou's Public Security Bureau. Occurring every 2 years, the event has an area exhibiting guns as well as demonstrations and games raising awareness on drunk driving. Special glasses simulate a drunken person's vision, and alcohol tests were given to visitors. Police officers showed off their kung fu skills and introduced advanced life detection instruments, which were used to help find survivors of the Sichuan earthquake. EastDay.com carries pictures of continuing work on the lower section of the Minpu Bridge, a new 2-tiered bridge in Shanghai. The structure is said to become the world's longest of its type. Linqing Minhang District and Putong, the 2-mile-long bridge, is expected to open to traffic at the end of this year. The main span of the cable-stay bridge will stretch more than 770 yards. The cross-river connection will slash travel times from downtown to the suburbs, Putong International Airport, and neighboring Zhejiang Province. The upper-level expressway will have a speed limit of 70 miles per hour, while traffic on the 6-lane lower level will be restricted to 35 miles per hour. China's Air Force will display its most advanced warplanes at the China Aviation Museum on the outskirts of Beijing next month to mark the 60th founding anniversary of the People's Liberation Army Air Force. All aircraft, including Chongqing 2000 airborne early warning and control aircraft, J-11 fighters, H-6 bomber jets, and HQ-9 surface-to-air missiles, are Chinese-made. Many of them were also included in the aircraft flyby during the National Day military parade on October 1st. The PLA Air Force was founded on November 11, 1949. 4 J-10 fighters and 6 J-7 fighters from the Air Force Performance Team will fly past on the day of the anniversary, and paratroopers will skydive as part of the celebration program. Archivists from the PLA have located the wreckage of a U.S. plane that crashed in Guangdong Province nearly 60 years ago. Liu Yichuan spent years sifting through tens of thousands of historic documents before realizing that the jet crashed near the village of Jiaxuikang. Liu found elderly villagers who remembered the incident and helped him locate the site of the crash, which took the lives of 15 U.S. military personnel on November 5, 1950. The investigation was part of a larger mission by the PLA to find missing U.S. military personnel who disappeared in China between 1950 and 1958. The project began in July 2006 when China and the U.S. signed a document calling for cooperation between military archives. Organizers of the United States Pavilion at the 2010 Shanghai World Expo say fundraising is going smoothly and is about 2/3 complete. Ken Jarrett, the chairman of the U.S. Pavilion Board of Directors, made the remarks as the Dow Chemical Company joined the pavilion sponsor list. Dow joins a list of 15 sponsors that includes Pepsi, GE, Walmart, Microsoft, and Boeing. According to the Shanghai Daily, the U.S. Pavilion Organizing Committee has raised more than $40 million of its $61 million budget required, with an additional $21 million worth of contracts under negotiation. The Life of Guangzhou.com has the tragic story of a 16-year-old patient in Foshan who has expressed the wish to donate all his organs after being diagnosed with a rare fatal disease known as ITP, in which the victim has a low platelet count for unknown reasons. Feng Shihui suddenly fell unconscious in class in May this year and was sent to hospital. It wasn't until the beginning of September that Feng learned of his disease. which has now led to a lung infection and high fever. 2 days after learning of his fate, Feng made up his mind and signed an agreement to donate all his organs to the Shenzhen Red Cross. News now from the Changjiang Commercial Daily, which has reports of a perfect birthday for one lucky migrant worker. The man who works in Yitu in Hubei province won 9.2 million yuan or $1.3 million in a lottery win on his 28th birthday. The man said he'd been buying lottery tickets for the past 10 years, but despite hitting the massive jackpot, he claimed he would continue with his job. Well, is the wheels mankind's best ever invention? Well, one guy doesn't think so. He's decked his bicycle out with a pentagonal front wheel and a triangular rear one to create what he calls a multi-angle wheel bicycle that looks like it came straight out of the Flintstones. Its inventor, Guan Baihua, says he just wants to give people an alternative to normal boring bikes, and it's actually been designed to help its rider do some exercise in a short amount of time while still staying upright. Guan says it took him a year and a half to design the two wheels correctly, but don't expect to see it on the market anytime soon. And that's Today Media Watch, and in fact, that's all for now from the team here at BON News.